Good morning, everybody. So I'm trying something new today. I have this shooting at or pointing at my TV, and I have Rail Cowgirl. She's a train driver in like Norway, Sweden area. This is like a great channel. I have the volume down, but I don't feel like being on screen today. And so to keep you from just having a nothing to look at, I just put this on because this is something I enjoy watching occasionally. And so anyway, I want to talk to you about a lot of stuff. One thing about how grouchy people were last week. Oh my gosh. I had three incidences of nasty people in my office. I had someone standing at my door at 8:15 on Monday morning to get in to get wiring instructions because she waited too late on Friday. Oh, okay. It's still going. It's just it's a commercial. Sorry. I was like I thought it stopped. So anyway, so she was hell bent on getting wiring instructions and mad because nobody answered her call over the weekend. I'm like, we're closed. We're not opened Saturday and Sunday. So anyway, she was just angry all day long, and that was the first incident. And then Wednesday morning, somebody called first thing Wednesday morning because for whatever reason, we're having a hard time getting her homeowner's insurance to the right place. The insurance company keeps sending us one address and we send it and it comes back. So it's just, that's been really annoying. And then yesterday afternoon, I picked up a call for a different office. They were calling the Lafayette office, but I picked up because we were short on receptionists yesterday, so we all just kind of have to pitch in. And he was mad because somebody had waken him up, and it was probably, I'm thinking it was around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and whoever from Meridian Title had called him, and nobody left a message and woke him up. And so he called back super angry that somebody had waken him. And I was like, well, I mean, if you're not doing buying or selling a house with Meridian Title, then it could have been a misdial. People accidentally dial the wrong number occasionally. And he just kept going. I finally was like, turn the ringer off. I'm like, me personally, I didn't say this to him, but me personally, I don't even take my phone into my bedroom at night. It sits in my kitchen. Charging. I'm like, nobody needs me in the middle of the night. If they get thrown in jail, they need to call somebody else. If somebody dies in the middle of the night, I can't do anything about it. I will find everything out in the morning. I am generally up between 4 and 5 anyway. So it's kind of one of those, leave me the hell alone while I'm trying to get some sleep. So yeah, it was just an interesting week. I could tell from the vibes of the customers and the people that were working in the office that they were not having a very good week. And so I'm just curious, for those of you that might work in the public, did you experience that same thing? Did you have everybody like honked off as all get out at you? So that was one thing I wanted to discuss. Also, I had gotten a call, I think it was Thursday morning, from a gal that used to work at our office. She was a commercial closer and left, I think, almost 2 years ago, and went to a different title company. And I've talked to her once since she left. Follow her on Facebook, but this is the second time she actually called me. And I was like, hey, what's going on? And she goes, well, I wanted to talk to you about energy. And I was like, okay, what kind of energy? So apparently, she's been working at a different office for the last year or so, but they've put her at a different location. She's been driving there, and it's a longer drive, I think, for her to get there. But the people at this new place where she's at, and I think she's there for 3 months, from the sounds of it, to work with them and kind of help them out and everything. And she said, I've noticed in the last month that their negative energy is starting to affect me. And so she had called me to see, how I handle things, because as a receptionist, like I said, last week I had 3 people bitching at me about something. And sometimes I'm really good at just letting it roll off my back, and sometimes I don't know if sometimes I kind of get back in their face at them. I don't necessarily get angry, but it's more of a, I'm not letting you talk to me like this, or maybe I snap back sometimes just because I'm just not going to suck it up and take someone being just an asshole to me because they're having a bad day. So, anyway, we were just talking about some different things, and I've talked about this on the channel before. I have a lot of things in place for keeping my vibrations high. I spend a lot of time at home at night and on the weekends by myself, decompressing and making sure I keep my vibrations as high as possible. I started walking before work back in April, and I felt like that had helped raise my vibrations. So I do absolutely everything I can. I've got crystals on my desk, and in my apartment, I have crystals underneath the couch where I sit all the time. I have crystals in the water that I drink. I've got little sayings on pieces of paper about, like removing negative energy under rugs and in windowsills and by the wind, like in the kitchen and different places. I have this stuff posted, and I have some at work. So I do many things to keep my vibrations high and to keep the negative energy away from me. I've consistently removed negative energy from me for the last several years. I pay very close attention to conversations that I'm having, and was I feeling good before, and then did I feel bad? So I was talking to this gal about, I asked her if she knew what a psychic vampire was, and she did not. We talked about using crystals, clear quartz as things to like amplify your good mood and kind of push away negative energy. I mean, like I said, I have put in place many things over the last few years. So I even had said, I'm like, well, you don't have to do everything at once, but start adding some things in and see if it helps. And I said, what do you do first thing in the morning? Because she's got a couple of kids, so she does not spend really any time in nature or outside or by herself. She's at that age in her life where her family and her work and her kids and that just pretty much takes up all of her stuff. And so because of that, this negative energy from work is starting to affect her really bad. So I said, what do you listen to on the way to work? Because I think she's probably got about an hour to drive to work right now for this 3-month period of time. I'm like, what do you listen to in the mornings? And she said, podcasts. And I said, try for a week. I said, you don't have to give up your podcast forever, but I'm like, most of the time a podcast is about learning. Not always, but a lot of times podcasts are educational. You're trying to learn something. I said, listen to some sort of upbeat music or some soothing music or something on the way into work for a week and see if that doesn't improve your mood. I also remember having this conversation with the gal that did my quantum healing session the last time she was here, and she was having some issues with a couple of people that she worked with. And I said, so if you know for sure that your mood is going to go down when you get to work because of the people that you're working in, then it's like your mission to get it as high as possible in the morning with that full knowing that it's going to drop throughout the day. So if you go in a bad mood, it's just going to get worse if you get in there and everybody's all cranky or whatever. So it's super important to start your morning off as high as possible by doing whatever you need to do, whether that's meditating or walking or listening to upbeat music or, you know, keeping anything negative out of your face first thing in the morning because you know it's going to drop. So I wanted to discuss that a little bit. I did not do a video on this, but I have posted some stuff on, what's the word? Telegram. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by watching this snow on the TV. About when Trump had nominated or was pulling Oz in for, I can't even remember, Dr. Oz, what they were bringing him in for. And I remember thinking, I'm like, I haven't watched Dr. Oz for a long time because he just gives me the creeps when I watch him. Like I would watch him hug the contestants or the people that were coming on the show or whatever. And I would always, it was like I could feel the energy from these people that he was hugging. Most of them are women that are on the show. And I could kind of like see it in their face, kind of like a cringe, or I could feel the energy from them. And I quit watching him a long time ago because he just kind of gave me the creeps. So when Trump had nominated him, I was like, ew. And then the next thing you know, it starts coming out that he was promoting the transgender, and he was with that Abramovich, the spirit cooking lady, whatever her name is, and there was a picture of her with that, and he also came to claim, got his claim to fame through Oprah. So I think my point is, I think I was really hoping that once Mr. T got back into office, we were not going to have to put up with the shenanigans of pointing the bad people out, but apparently that's not the case because it looks like that's still going on. He's pulling people in or nominating people, and then everybody's pointing out all the crap of what they do. So I guess we're kind of still on that roller coaster of not knowing who to trust. Not that we trust anybody, it doesn't seem, but anyhow, let's see what else is going on. I'm trying to think. We got Thanksgiving coming up next week. I keep having people asking me what I'm doing for Thanksgiving. I am not doing anything, and that is my choice. I enjoy, like my next those 4 days, I will probably cook up some different stuff than I normally do and just, kind of clean up and organize, which always makes me feel better. So I'm gonna frog. So anyway, I hope you guys are all doing well. What are your plans for Thanksgiving? Are you having a big party? Are you staying home? Are you having a small little get together with family or a Friendsgiving, as they call it? I went to the grocery store first thing this morning and saw, well, you know what? I knew there was something else I wanted to talk about. I ran into a lot of people that I recognized at the grocery store. One gal comes into Meridian Title, and some of them I just see at the grocery store on Saturday mornings all the time because we all tend to go at the same time. And one of the ladies that I ran into is an agent, and her husband was in, I'm gonna say, a horrifying snowmobile accident. I think it was in January. I mean, when I say it was bad, it was bad. And it's a miracle that he lived. I may have mentioned this on the channel once. I can't remember if I did or if I didn't. He did survive, and he probably only survived because his body went into like a deep cold kind of shock because he laid out there for a while until they could get him airlifted to the hospital. he was in rehab for several months and has been home for a little while. And I asked her how her husband was doing, and she's like, well, he was doing pretty good until he took a fall in the kitchen a couple of days ago. I believe it sounded like it was the arm that they had to amputate one of his arms, and he fell and messed it up really, really bad. And so, I mean, I wished I'd have given her a hug there, but the freezer section, I guess it wasn't the freezer section, it was like the bacon, ham, meat refrigerator was standing in the middle of us. And we were kind of talking over that, but I she's not doing well. I mean, she's like, this whole thing with him just took the air out of my sails, because she was like kind of planning Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff, and now she doesn't even feel like doing it. And I'm like, you know what? You can skip this for 1 year and take care of yourself. The whole family, I mean, they have had a rough year. So, holidays either make things better for some people because they get to see their family, or it makes things worse and they try to add too many things into their schedule. Don't do that. Learn how to say no. You do not have to try to impress anybody. That is not your job anymore. Impressing people around the holidays is not your job. Let other people feel like they need to impress people and wow people with their hostess with the mostest gifts or whatever. I mean, like, take care of yourself, take some time off. And I'm like, I just don't know how people, I don't know why. I think that's the question. I do not know why people want to do that. Oh, here we go. We got to skip this. Skip. Okay, now we're back on. You can see my shadow in the TV. It looks very weird. Anyway, so I can't think of anything else. Anyway, let me know how you're doing, what you're doing for Thanksgiving. Also, if you run into a lot of really super grouchy people, as I've talked to people about it, I said, well, the holidays are coming up, and there are still people out there that were very unhappy about the election. So I imagine some of that's still running off of them and oozing out of their veins. There was one guy in the office. Yeah, he was in the office this week twice. And I overheard him talking in the closing room about how he was going to really super celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas this year because it was the last time he'd be living in a democracy. And I'm like, pretty sure that he might be one of the ones that, I don't know. I'm just not even going to say anything else. He's not my cup of tea. Let's just put it that way. There is nothing about him that is my cup of tea at all. So I'm going to let you guys go. Have a good day. It's Saturday, the 23rd, by the way, Saturday morning. So I will talk to you later. Bye.